Miss Rogers, someone wrote their name on the wall in the bathroom. Again? These kids need to stop taking markers to the bathroom. It wasn't in marker. What was it in? They did it with their poopy. Emily, what was the name written on the wall in the bathroom? I don't remember. Is the name Emily written on the wall by any chance? It might be. I'm sure there's so many Emilys in this school. Actually, you're the only one on this hall that uses that bathroom. Well, I guess James just went and framed me. So James went to the girls' bathroom to write your name on the wall in poop? Makes sense to me. And when you're the only one to ask to use the restroom today. You know what, Miss Rogers? You should just be lucky that I told you that I found it. And you should go look at it when you get a chance.
Am I the bad apple for not wanting my husband's ex-wife in my house? My stepdaughter asked if she can have her son's birthday party at my home. She and I don't really get along, but I love her son, so I said of course. I said, however, I'm not comfortable with her bio mom, my husband's ex-wife, in my house, though, as she's caused a lot of issues, is an addict and a thief. I offered to pay for a venue if they wanted to invite her mom, as to not have her running around inside my house. However, my husband then got upset, insinuating that I just hate my stepdaughter and made him feel like crap, and he's now sleeping somewhere else tonight. I have no issues with the party being here, and I have no issues with the stepdaughter being here, even though we don't really communicate. I just don't want the ex to come, and I don't see why that makes me a bad person. Am I the bad apple for saying my sister can't move in? My sister, 22 female, her boyfriend, let's call him Tom, 24 male, me, 13 female, and my brother, 20 male, are all currently arguing about my sister and her boyfriend moving in. In 2021, my sister moved out and met her boyfriend, and they moved in together under Tom's sister's tenancy. Recently, she hasn't kicked them out, but she did basically say they have a week to get out, and my mom decided to be the mom of the year and asked my sister and her boyfriend if they want to move in here. My brother and I don't want her to move in here. I mean, it's a 3-bedroom house, and me and my brother and my mom all live here in our own rooms. There's no space for her. Well, now they're saying that I have no say in the decision, and I don't think that's fair or right. I did have a small incident in middle school for Teacher Appreciation Week. My mom sent me to school with some stuff for all 4 of my teachers, and I remember my science teacher was really rude to me. I felt really uncomfortable in her class. I did not like going to her class, and I planned on not giving her her gift. And I'll never forget that there was something I left in my locker, and I asked if I could go get it in the middle of class, and she, for some reason, decided to leave the rest of the class and follow me to my locker, which was literally right next to her room. Like, it was right there. It's not like I had to venture far.
Right. And
just stand behind me and wait for me to get whatever it was out of my locker. And she saw the teacher gifts, and she asked me, is that supposed to be for me? And I didn't know what to say, and she yanked it out of my locker. She was my first class of the day. And then she went, and at lunchtime, I was passing right next to the teacher table after the cafeteria, and she literally looked right at me and turned to the teachers next to her, and I heard her say, you know that her mom sent her with presents for all of us, and she wasn't going to give them to us, but I found them, so I grabbed them for you guys. Am I the bad apple for telling my parents about my brother's affair child? My brother's been trying to get into business with my husband, and before my husband goes into business with anyone, he does these very expensive background checks on them. That's how we found out that my brother has a daughter outside of his marriage. I had no idea this kid existed, and my husband warned me that I shouldn't say anything, but I couldn't just not tell my parents, so I told them a few days ago. They immediately confronted my brother about it. It turns out that his wife is fully aware, but threatened that she would leave if he ever tried to include this daughter in family things. Well, my parents want to meet her and include her in our family, but my sister-in-law is threatening to leave if that happens, so my brother won't give them the mom's contact information. Well, now they want my husband to find out for them, and he's refusing to get involved, so everything's kind of right now. Am I the bad apple for forcing my daughter to give up her room? Recently, my 31 female community suffered a huge natural disaster in which many people were displaced from their homes. When I saw several of my friends from high school who were reaching out on Facebook looking for places to stay with their families, I wanted to do something about it. My husband, 33 male, and I are blessed to own a 3-bedroom home and have 4 daughters. Without thinking, I immediately invited 2 of the displaced friends and their families to stay with us until they could get back to their homes. Our children would be moving into the primary bedroom with us. My 12-year-old, however, is not okay with this solution and says that I should have run it by her and that she doesn't want anyone in her room other than her and the other sister who lives in the room with her. The other 3 girls are more understanding of my knee-jerk invitation to these friends and their families, and I'll admit I didn't really initially discuss it with my husband before I extended the invitation, but he's fine with it now. Am I the bad apple for pressuring my ex to give up their parental rights? I, 29 female, am engaged to my fiance, 26 male, and have a 5-year-old daughter, H, with my ex, P, 28 female. P is currently transitioning and taking hormones, becoming a woman. For a while, P lived with H for about 6 months after we separated. P basically stopped parenting H. About a month ago, H came to live with me and my fiance full time. Since then, P hasn't called at all, hasn't made any effort to spend time with H. Today, my fiance found out that P moved away. I mean, she literally left the state without telling anyone, including H. P didn't even tell H goodbye. Originally, I wasn't going to pursue child support, but after P disappeared without notice, I changed my mind. I gave her a choice. Either pay child support and stay involved in H's life, or terminate your parental rights. Am I the bad apple for forcing my family to get vaccinated? My husband and I are expecting our first baby in August. She's an IVF baby, which is maybe making me overly cautious. My state has had a very high number of whooping cough cases compared to the rest of the country, so I asked all my immediate family and my best friends to get the TDAP vaccine if they want to meet the baby right away, or wait 6 weeks to come over. Everyone lives very close by because it's a small town and they all want to come over all the time. My in-laws scheduled their vaccine right away with no problem. My parents are divorced and my dad said he can't wait to meet her, and of course he's gonna get it. My brother and mom are refusing to get the vaccine and said they would rather wait. I'm incredibly hurt by this because they were the first in line to get the COVID vaccine in 2020, and they've never expressed being anti-vax or anything of the sorts. Their reasoning is that they didn't have people do that with their children, so they shouldn't have to do it with mine. Now this is making me wonder if my request is unreasonable.
My very first live shot ever when I was in Tallahassee, Florida. I was 23 years old. First time ever going live at the 5 o'clock news. My story that day, it was around the holidays, so my story that day was about shopping and retail sales in Tallahassee, Florida. My first, I'm looking at the camera, and I hear in my earpiece, Lisa Remillard is outside of the Walmart to talk about retail sales. I saw the red light go on, and I swear I started speaking another language. I forgot my name. I froze. It was horrendous.